2 races with these drivers around Portugal. Forgot the name of this track. Oh, it's up there. I can't say that. 14 turns, 2.91 miles. I think it is. It's a very tricky track, and got a co-host today. How you doing?
Hello, my name's Harry Lillis. I'm a Super 2 driver, and I'm happy to commentate for my first time here. So, looks like it's a little bit misty out on track today for qualifying.
Yeah, it's really hard to follow cars into corners if it's misty during the race. Hopefully, it isn't. Who's the first cars out? I think it's Brett right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what sort of times these cars are doing around here. The Porsches with, oh my god, it's misty as hell.
Very misty out on track, very low visibility.
Jesus. Hopefully those headlights are working properly, so...
I think Yeah, here you go, mate.
It is a tough track. Like, how was the Super 2s in these?
Yeah, it's, we had a very wet qualifying and on race 2. On race 1, sorry. Average lap time on a dry track. I mean, I don't see any rain out there. I reckon the average lap times for these boys maybe a 141.5 to 143.
Yeah.
But on track conditions like this, it should be, around low 140s.
Yeah, this track will be very, very cold, so it's gonna be heat up the tyres before their first lap.
Yeah.
Last week we had some drama between Seb and Axel, who's not actually racing today, so interesting. I think Mackenzie won the race race 1, I think it was. I don't know about race 2 because I didn't commentate on that, but he drove a brilliant race. Don't really know who's the strongest in this grid.
No, neither do I.
Mackenzie's always a strong driver. They're all strong, to be honest. It's a different game other than F1, so anyone can be the fastest on any track. I think Brett's going to be the first person to set a lap around the final sector now.
Here he is. This final turn here, it's a prolonged right turn, and it's very harsh on the front left tyre. You really got to watch out for,
it's very hard.
For that. Yeah. You can carry a lot of speed.
Especially with the heavy cars these are, and the understeer's not going to be nice. So you have to hit the right line to carry enough speed for it. Bloody hell, it is. Oh Christ, that is
wow.
Not a pretty angle. That's not a pretty angle. Jesus Christ.
My word.
See how Brett can do on his lap right now. Who's following behind him? Kenzie and Amiro are not out of the pits yet.
Perhaps
interesting.
Getting a last minute setup in or something like that.
Maybe. Or maybe just seeing how the other drivers, how they'll handle the track and what times they're going to set. Let's see.
Now, in the wet during races, this track is absolute chaos. Into the first right-hander, it's very tight and narrow, and with 6 cars it should be okay, but it's going to be a lot of chaos if it's raining. Like I said, on that turn that's very harsh on the front left, the final prolonged right, there is, if it's raining heavily, there's a puddle right on the inside, which tends to be a very popular driving line, and that can cause some not so good looking accidents. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have a wet race. I would like to see a wet race. But I don't think the drivers will at all. I don't think this mist is helping them do much. But Brett seems to be doing a decent lap. He had a little bit of a mistake at the end of the second sector, but not too bad other than that. He goes quite wide on there. I don't think. Brilliant line. Gone wide there. That might invalidate his lap.
Yeah, he's past the white line.
Let's see. That you just see. What is that? A 43.8. Very good. 43.8. I'd said betters him by less than a 10. So margins between these guys. Axel is at racing actually, so I my mistake. He does a 2 minute, but I don't think he'll be too happy about that. Time. Mackenzie's out on track and says Bailey. I think Bailey's coming around the final corner. I know he's here now. He's gonna set a lap. I think it's P3. So big margins between Bailey and Axel, but not too much between Brett and Seb.
No, 0.09.
Mirror's not come out of the pits yet, so
Still
that's an interesting choice. 10 minutes left in the session.
Might be waiting for track conditions.
Yeah. But I don't know if track conditions. I don't know.
No, they don't seem to want to improve, so I don't know what he's waiting for.
Let's see what Mackenzie. I think he's this angle is just horrible. He's just P4, 56.1. So nobody really bumped up other than the top two. Maybe a few mistakes with these drivers, but turn one is not gonna be pretty.
No.
If it's still this misty. I think Brett's gonna. Oh no, it's Seb gonna set another lap. Let's see what we can do. Can he improve at all on that 43.7? Who was that? Axel.
Gone wide.
Yeah, Axel went P2. He's only 2.4 seconds off Seb. Seb's gonna set another lap. Does he improve at all? Don't think he did. Was that Brett going wide? Don't know.
At this point, that 143.7 seems to be a very solid lap.
Yeah, it's a very good lap. What sort of times were the Super 2s doing?
They were doing around. Well, we had pretty good qualifying conditions on race 2. In fact, I think one of them pole position set a 140 or 141.8. That was in like dry, hot conditions. No, like not a cloud in the sky. So, much more optimal track conditions there. Yeah,
the Porsches weren't that fast actually. I thought they'd be one of the fastest group. They were like 40. I think the pole was a 44, which is
their average was about 45, 46. These cars are actually faster around this circuit, which genuinely surprises me, considering how heavy and clunky they really are.
Very, very understeery though. Like that last corner in a Porsche is not pretty. It's trying to take the best line. Oh, Mackenzie goes fastest with a 43.6. 10th off Seb, so it's showing his pace right there. So top 3 split by 2 tenths. Brett's in the pits right now. Anyone close to finishing the lap, and they're still not out of the pits. Don't know what he's playing at, but I think Axel's gonna be the first person. I mean, the next person set up. Can he improve at all? Oh, 1.4 seconds off Mackenzie. So little improvements. Maybe getting close. And bloody hell, Seb, 5 tenths quicker than Mackenzie, 43.1. That's a brilliant lap time from him. So he's sticking it to Mackenzie and showing his real pace right there. Oh, pardon me. Let's see. I think Bailey's going to come across the line now. Can he get into the 40s at all?
Sebastian Spicer on top with a 143.
A 43.6 from Bailey.
Still not enough to get on top.
Good lap. So there's 6 minutes left in the session. Only Brett and Axel going quite wide there, actually going into the gravel.
Nope.
Is he alright? Yeah, I think it's just a bit of an overshoot.
I think a couple of them are coming in for a fresh set of rubber, trying to set some new ones towards the end of the session. Oh,
but still, Amiral not out of the pits yet. So, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he wants a little bit of a fun race, start from the back, try and make places up. Don't know.
Anything can happen with these cars, so I guess. If he wants to play that fun game, losing the back end there.
Oh bloody hell! I had to bloody drift around that corner. But I think Brett is going to set another lap time coming around this long right-hander of the last corner, and while touching the curve, going up this hill. It is a funny track. This is with the latitude change, with the uphills and downhills down the straight. It's quite odd.
Yeah.
Little hill. Brett can't improve at all. I think it's Axel behind him can't improve either. Well, it's going to be eyes on these top 3 guys in the last 5 minutes to see if they can see if they're going to improve at all.
It's quite a mixed track in terms of setup, because you've got towards like, you know, the second sector, it's quite twisty turny, but you've also got lots of prolonged turns and straights, which, you know, it's a balanced, it's not exactly a high or low downforce track. You got to find a balance in the setup here. Very difficult.
Exactly. There are very, very technical corners, and with these heavy cars, it's going to be tough to navigate through them. But they seem to be doing all right. The times are looking good. I'm waiting on Axel. Oh, bloody hell, voice break. I'm waiting on Axel to set a good lap, because he is one of the fastest drivers in this series. He's too far off to really challenge. Let's see who's close to finishing the lap at all.
Pardon me, I'll be right back.
That's fine. So I think Axel's coming around the last corner to try and set his lap. It's gone quite wide, so maybe he's going to the pits, maybe. Is that the last corner? Oh no, this is the last corner, my bad. On the last corner, let's see what time Axel can set. Can he get on pole? Can he challenge any of the top 3 guys? He's 2 seconds off, isn't? And Mirror's finally out of the pit, so he's going to be setting some laps. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. So 1.2 seconds for Axel off that pole time. It's improvement, but it's still a long way to go. Let's see, anyone else close to finishing a lap? I think.
Seems to be 143 average around here for these boys.
Yeah. It's interesting to see what Mirror can do, actually, because we haven't seen him at all in this practice session. He's left it quite late, so I don't know if he's done any practice around this track, so it's risky coming out this late. But right, let's see who is close to finishing the lap.
Just gonna revise these names.
trying to jot on the names.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to learn once you've been in the league a while. But I think Seb's gonna be crossing the line now. Can he set a fast lap? Can he improve on his pole time? Tall. No, he can't. But he still does. He has enough time to do another lap. Anyone else close? Which lap I think Axel will be. Come around the final corner now. What can he do?
Let's see.
Seems to be improving quite a bit, so hopefully this lap here works for him. I think slightly behind him is Brett. Let's see if he can challenge at all. That angle is not pretty. Oh, he backs out his lap. Can Brett set a fast lap? No, he cannot. Anyone? Oh, that's. Mackenzie seems to be on a good lap now. Coming into the final sector. These corners are really, really tricky. Long lefts and rights into. It's a funny track, really. Ooh. So Axel's just got a one-place grid penalty for a pit line violation.
Oh.
That's a funny one.
Unfortunate.
But yeah, this track is an odd one, just because of the height, just variation in the track. It's really odd. Down the straight, it's just uphill, a straight, and then downhill. It's just I don't know why it goes like that. Yeah, it's really weird. But can Mackenzie do anything about his lap time?
Now I'm looking at the race calendar, and the first race for these boys is actually shorter than the first race for the Super 2. 12 lap race, the first one, which is obviously a pair of soft tyres can go that whole race easily. But their next race is 24 laps, race 2, which that will require a pit stop unless they go on hard tyres, which even there will still start to fade out.
Just as you were saying that, Seb sets a new lap and he goes into the 42s, which is very impressive for him. I think Amiro's going to set his first lap now. Maybe not. I think that was an out lap. So anyone else can set a lap? Don't think so. I think Bailey maybe is coming down the straight now. And he goes fastest by 2/10 of a 42.6 at the end of the session. He's still gonna have enough time for another lap. He crossed the line just in the nick of time, and it's gonna be interesting to see what Seb can do about that. So Amiro is in the pits and he has not set a time.
Interesting.
Came out, yeah. Don't know what he's doing. Quite interesting. Let's see. I think Mackenzie's going to be coming around the corner right now for his last lap. Can he improve by a second to challenge Bailey for P1? Yep. Seb's called his qualifying off, and yeah, Mackenzie goes fastest by 300.
Oh, it's a battle for first pole position. I mean, sorry.
That's the margin. That's oh my god, that is a incredible lap time. So 3 people in the 42s. Can Brett improve by 1.3 seconds to get pole? There are quite a few laps on these tyres already. I don't think I've actually seen him pit. I think Mackenzie. I know he's still on what out lap.
Brett can get up there. This is his final attempt, coming down the main straight now. Let's see if he can get pole position here.
It's gonna be tricky to improve by. Oh, I think he's lap invalidated right there. Maybe not.
Doesn't manage to do it.
Yeah. He's bloody well close though. 43.0. He's only 3/10 off Mackenzie, so it's going to be a very, very close race between these two, between these guys. So turn 1, it's going to be caution tight, and it is a dry race.
Dry race.
Yeah, it's very sunny, so the lap times are going to be go quicker and quicker. But let's see how this the start will go.
I reckon we're in for a very interesting start here.
Yeah, hopefully no cars go airborne.
Hopefully not.
Let's see who gets a better start. It's quite hard to see the lights from there, actually.
You got to be very careful with these cars off the lights. They can, a fair bit of wheel spin can completely screw up your start. So it could be easy for one of the back markers to actually jump up towards first and second.
Going to be a scrappy few laps for this tight circuit, and 6 cars going around all at once. It's going to be hard to avoid contact with these. But let's just wait for the lights. There's always an awkward pause in project cars for these lights.
No pit stops should be needed for this one.
Yeah, so it's 12 laps, I think, or 13 laps.
12 laps.
12 laps. So it was a little sprint race. It was 13 laps of the Porsche race, which felt like forever. And I think the lights are going to be going off now. They're revving their engines. The lights are going up, and they're out. And see who gets a better start. I think Mackenzie has a good start. Someone at the back, I think that's Amiro. No, it's Axel getting a good start as well. But he's going to challenge Mackenzie to turn 1. Maybe not. Bit of contact between Axel and Seb, that is, and Seb's dropped back quite a fair margin actually. Seems to be all right for contact wise. Yeah, I think it's been all right. Not too many cars spinning off.
No.
Then the starts it's quite clean actually, surprisingly.
Very clean.
Going down to this sharp hairpin. It's all about exit here. Can Bailey get on the back of Mackenzie at all, but Seb had dropped down quite dramatically. I think he was in P3 and he's P5 now. Don't know what happened to him. Maybe
back.
Yeah, bad start for him. And Stuart Mackenzie and Bailey's going at it already, and Bailey's taking the lead of the race. Let's see what these guys can do into the last sector.
Oh, is he going to make a move?
Someone going quite wide. I think it was Brett, and I think Axel's going to try and go on the outside, but Brett covers the inside. Yeah, he can't make a move there. Ooh, Axel trying to make a move and just braking too late, trying to avoid contact with Brett. And Mackenzie and Bailey are going at it already, and it's going to be a slipstream battle down the straight, I think. See what can happen. Bloody hell, Mackenzie's taking a really tight line for this, and he might get a better run than him. Going to have the slipstream down the straight. Kenny can overtake into turn 1. Yeah, he's going
to make a move.
Oh, he's going to be closing down the hills. The slipstream's going to be absolutely incredible. He's trying to make a move, trying to go on the inside, scaring him. He's nearly slipping by himself. Bloody hell. So far, Bailey's had a brilliant start going up to P1. Mackenzie's right on the back of him, and just on the road. Oh, who's that? That's Brett's off.
Brett?
Don't know what happened there. I think a bit of contact with Seb maybe, but he went off at turn 3, 4? Turn 4, I think that was. So, unfortunate for him, and these two front guys still battling out at 10th as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute battle all race, I think, and could end in tears, you never know. Oh, and he spun it. Baby. Speaking of which, that is going to rip up the left tyres, or all the tyres.
Oh no. Bailey seemed to like handing it to bloody Mackenzie. He had the pace on him, but hitting the curb wrong, and that's what happens with these cars. You hit one curb on your round, and it's not rewarding at all. And Mackenzie has a 3.3 second gap now to Seb. So far, Mackenzie should be winning this race, but we'll see what happened to Bailey, and if he hits the curb wrong, could be a dramatic spin for him. But Seb seems to be catching up quite dramatically, but the gaps are quite large right now. While the gaps are large, I'm going to get some water so my throat doesn't close up.
Might get on board for a virtual lap. Very early braking down here into the first right-hander. Need to get right next to that yellow bit of the curb. If you're on it, you're going to lose the rear end there. Braking nice and early into here, double apex, and accelerating up into turn 4, I believe. A nice straight here, plenty of opportunity for overtaking, heading into the hairpin. And in fact, speaking of which, we've got a move. I think that's... who's that? Made a move.
Oh, what's there? Oh,
whoever's in the blue one just made a move, overtook him.
Ah, first. So Axel making his way up.
Oh, someone spun on the curb.
Mackenzie. Like I said, one curb on your round. So Axel's taking the lead of the race, and these two. Oh, Bailey's going to try and go on the outside of Seb.
Teammates.
Bloody hell, he's actually made the move stick, so fair play to Bailey. He's done an absolute wonderful move. But Mackenzie has absolutely thrown away that race lead. He had a 3-second gap, but still there's 9 laps to go in this race, and will make it back.
You know, it's all of a sudden that the gaps have actually tightened up all of a sudden.
Yeah, they're very, very tight at the moment, but that one lonely stranger in the background is a Merrill. Not doing too great, but he's going to get points anyway. And
he didn't get much practice.
Yeah, this is a view to behold. 5 cars within 2 seconds of each other after 4 laps is quite an impressive view. But hopefully we have some battles and overtakes. But Axel, who's that going wide? I think that's Seb. And so is Mackenzie going wide as well. So Brett taking that position away from him. Bailey's going to be trying to get down Axel's inside into the hairpin, but I don't think he'll be able to. He's gone quite deep into that actually.
Yeah, that hairpin's very deceptive because right before it you're going downhill, so you need to start braking a bit earlier because these cars are heavy. They very easy to go wide on that hairpin, so you need to be braking nice and early for that one.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's a weird track because some braking does it uphill and some are downhill, so you have to judge your braking a lot differently around this track. But I think Bailey's going to try and go for a move. Maybe not. He's thinking better, trying to scare Axel. I think he's got a better line through there, to be honest. No, I can't do anything about that. Yeah, the gaps are opening up a bit now. After that one lap of close racing, but let's see what Bailey can do on Axel's car. Yeah, it's all about this exit really. It's a long right hander, and you need to get the better exit in the car, and I think he has.
He has
brilliant exit through there. Yeah, it's an incredible exit by Bailey. He's gonna try and get him into turn 1, but he needs to be clever about his braking because it's downhill. No. Thinks better. It's smart from him. There's another 7 laps this race. He doesn't need to make a move straight away.
Oh, was there contact there?
He's getting a little love tap. Yeah, a little love tap on the back. Little warning sign for Axel, I think.
Might jump on Axel here for a virtual lap.
Whoa. What's happened to Mackenzie?
Yeah, he seems to have dropped back quite a bit.
He's slowing down. He was slowing down on the straight. I don't know what's happened to him.
Potentially some damage.
Maybe. I'll keep an eye on him. See what's wrong. It seems to be doing all right, to be honest. No, I don't know what was his problem there. But running back on with these guys up top, Bailey's still in Axel's wing mirrors. See if he can challenge us hold on the main straight. And see, it's all about the exit really, and if he gets a better exit out of the last corner, he's gonna be right up his rear wing. Seems to be quite far back compared to the last lap. Let's see if he can get a better exit than him now. Don't think so. Don't think it's going to be enough because last lap he was 2 times behind him and he couldn't make the move stick. I'm just going to keep an eye on Mackenzie right now. See what's wrong with him. Yeah, don't think too bad.
Gone a bit wide there. Stuart Mackenzie. Could potentially result in a time penalty. I think he came off it slow enough not to, but
yeah.
I'd be surprised if he did get a penalty there.
Yeah, the time penalties are very harsh in this game, really.
Very harsh.
But it nearly cost me a race win today.
Oh really?
They're pretty harsh. I got the slowdown.
Yeah.
But I slowed down, lost a second, and then it still gave me a penalty, so I pretty much lost 2 seconds.
That's what happened to me in race 1 in Dubai in Super 2. I got a time penalty for exceeding track limits just on the very last turn. Actually, I went a little bit over the roller strip, and speaking of, what was there? No moves there. And yeah, I got one of those slowdown things, and I slowed down for what seemed like forever, and it wasn't getting off me, so I sped up. Oh. No,
what happened to Merrill? He had a little red number on his name. What's happened there?
Drive-through, maybe?
It hasn't come up on the little race feed, so I don't know what's happened. Got damage to his car or anything? Oh, what's happened here? What's happened to Axel?
Oh, he's dropped, hasn't he?
What happened to Axel there? Maybe some contact between Bailey? Don't know. He's quite far down the road, so if there was contact, I'd assume that he'd be back with him. No clue what happened there. But Mackenzie's right at the back of Seb right now. And you get him a tour into the hairpin. Got the slipstream actually, might actually go for it. Just send it on the inside. Mackenzie with a brave move. That's a brilliant move right there. He hasn't stuck it yet. He might get switched back, but no. Good move by Mackenzie.
Very
Puts
clean
himself
move.
into P2. That's actually an incredible move by him.
Oh!
On Seb.
Lost the rear end there.
Seb's round. Yes, Seb's round.
Pressure's got to him.
Oh, yeah, unlucky Seb. So, this track, claiming the rears of 4 drivers already.
Like we said earlier, the roller strips here are absolutely deadly. Can spin your car around if you get the rear end caught on them at the wrong time. Just gotta be so careful with these things because they're quite a handful to drive.
They're front engine, aren't they? Mid engine.
Are they mid engined?
No clue. I have no clue. I was gonna see if like.
I think they're front engine, aren't they?
I think they're front engine. I'm having a look at this.
What would be the point of that giant vent on the front?
Error. I'm having a look.
I'm fairly sure they're front engine. Bailey seems to be holding the lead here. It's fluctuating between 2.5 seconds. He seems to be holding it pretty well.
Yeah, it was 3 seconds a couple of laps ago though. So Mackenzie closing the gap. I gave him a search to find where the engine is. I'd assume it's front engine, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think they can fit an engine in the back of that.
No,
with the roll cage. What's it? Oh, Mackenzie's really closing up to Bailey now. He's 2 seconds to what's done now, so he's catching up quite dramatically. But it does justify why these cars are so understeering and so heavy. They've got a massive V8 in the front of the car. It's gonna be tricky. It must be tricky around the circuit because there's so many turns and intricate corners. But
they are quite. You're in the pits here.
That's what. Yeah. I think that was quite a while ago against the pits, and I've only just noticed. So I think he might have smashed into a wall or something.
Repairs. That might take a while to get out of there then.
Yeah. So I'm looking to him. But see if Mackenzie can cut into Bailey's lead at all. Seems to be quite comfortably.
Yeah, Bailey is. It's only a 2-second lead, but he seems to be holding it reasonably well. I mean, Mackenzie can do anything in how many laps we got left? Like
3.
5?
So
3.
3. Yeah. Still in the top, middle top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So 3 laps. You need to catch up about. Let me just do some quick maths here. What, 6 cents a lap? I think.
Yeah.
More than 6 cents a lap to catch up to Bailey. I don't think he's actually going to do that unless Bailey makes a mistake. But he just needs to keep his head down, get some good laps in. He's catching up.
Yeah,
quite quickly actually.
Gained about 3/10 this lap on him.
It's this last corner that he's faster than him a lot. The 1.5 second gap. It's coming round to do the 10th lap of the Grand Prix. Let's see if I don't know if he's gonna be able to cut into his lead.
Yeah.
But maybe just Mackenzie being in his mirror to be enough to put him off and struggle a bit. But I know Bailey's gonna do it quite comfortably. He's a fast driver, and I think he'll stick it out to the end. But you never know. Commentator's curse might come into it.
Yeah.
It's all about a waiting game now. See if Mackenzie can do anything to Bailey.
Yeah, like anything can happen. You know, Bailey could get on the gas a bit too early and spin it, and you know, I mean, same goes for Mackenzie, but pressure's all on Bailey, so you know,
exactly.
I'm sure he has the driving ability to bring it home, but anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. But
oh, the gap's dropped. The gap is dropping. What's happened to Bailey here? He must have spun it right, as we were saying. All of a sudden,
Mackenzie has a little, yeah, it's a little, like a little warning time against the name, so maybe cut a corner. I have no clue, but
this race is on now.
Yeah, this is gonna be a close race right now. Let's see what he can do. He does have a better exit than Bailey through these last corners. What's he? Oh,
he's gone on the grass there.
What's he doing? Yeah, I don't know. But got 2 laps to make an overtake. Don't think Bailey will make it easy for him. I wonder what happened to Bailey.
Yeah, it'd be good if we could get instant replays.
Yeah, and here he comes, Mackenzie with his headlights on. He did this in a race 1 last round, flipping his headlights to the driver in front. Will he do it again? I really don't know what happened to Bailey. I'll have to ask him what happened there. But gap's increasing quite a bit. 9/10 now. But oh Christ.
I'm just gonna go get a drink. Really, actually, I'm gonna hold it until the race ends. I want to see this finish.
All right. It's gonna be. I don't know. It's hard to really judge because Mackenzie's missing a lot of braking points right now, but Bailey can still make a mistake, and he's holding his own to Mackenzie. I don't know if Mackenzie can make a move. Oh, he's gone quite wide there actually. Mackenzie's gonna be right in the back of him. Oh, that's a major mistake for Bailey actually.
Man,
maybe that's what
Mackenzie seems much stronger in this last sector. Compared to Bailey.
Oh, he's right at the back of him now.
Oh, locking up a little bit. Slipstream's going to play a big role here on this straight.
But dirty air on this.
He is right behind him.
Not too bad. Yeah, he's not going to be. He's going to be right behind him with Slipstream. Yeah, he's going to try and make a move.
Oh, on the final lap.
See if
it's on.
It's going to be the last. Yeah, Mackenzie goes on the outside on turn 1. Bailey squeezing him.
Taking the inside line, he's got the move done!
What a move by Mackenzie, Jesus Christ. Made 2 good moves today into turn 4. Turn 5, I think it was a hairpin, and what's happened to Bailey?
Has he got, he's exceeded track limits. He got, not literally pushed, but...
Oh, he's pushing Axel off as well. Little love tap there from Bailey onto Axel, trying to keep his position, but what a move by Mackenzie. Well done, sir. Brilliant switch.
You know what I said a couple of laps ago? Anything could happen.
Yeah, exactly. He had a little mistake at the start of the race. He had a 3-second lead, and then had a little spin, brought his way back over. He had the pace and had a little bit of luck with some people going wide, some people spinning, but well done to him. It's not over yet. It's not over till the flag waves. Until they cross the line, anything can still happen. You can still hit a curb. Still, Bailey flashes lights now, trying to be cheeky. But I think Mackenzie will try and nurse his car away around these last corners, try and spin, try and be careful as possible. He's got a 2nd gap to Bailey now, so don't think he's gonna risk it too much. He's quite wide actually. But yeah, what an epic finish. Brilliant for Mackenzie. He's gonna take his 2nd win, I think, or 3rd win. I think it's a 2nd win. He won race 1 last round, but he's gonna take another win in Portugal in race 1. Bailey might be under attack from Axel. Yeah, well done to him. Bailey's finishing P2. I think he'll be happy with that. I think he got for P3. Axel in P3 now. He's pretty good race from him. Seb, unfortunate. He had a little bit of a drop off at the start of the race, but P4 for him. Brett falling behind him hasn't really been too loud in our miles, but I think who got fast lap? Axel actually got fast lap, 44.3. That's a pretty good lap from him. Was that? No, I was gonna say, did that beat Pop? Oh. What is happening?
Whoa! Epilepsy warning.
What the? Oh, so the final standings: Mackenzie taking P1 on race 1 round Portugal. Well done to him. Bailey P2, unfortunately, he made little mistakes, cost him that victory. Axel P3 takes that final spot at the podium. Seb P4, Miral P5 actually. So I don't. Oh, Brett retired. So wait, so Miral DNF'd, but Brett retired. So that's odd. But okay, but final standings for race 1, and we'll be shortly on to race 2 in a minute.
Be right back. We will be right back.
opponents to see where they are. And you're wheel to wheel with these guys. They're in a strong situation. Their car is running well, and you're both in a good position. At that point, it's like playing high-speed poker. All you can do is try and gauge the profile of your opponent right, and hope that you come out in front of him.
Okay. We are back for race 2. Or round 2.
So, mandatory pit stop for this. Is it qualifying?
Yes, qualifying.
Oh, yeah. So, it's gonna be. I want a wet qualifying right now, just to spice up the grid order.
That would be interesting.
So we already know who's the fastest in the dry. Let's see who's the fastest in the wet.
Just I cannot drive to save my life in the wet.
Yep, and we're just spawning up with a dry session.
Oh well.
I see a mirror will get up the standings in this qualifying session. You didn't really do anything last session. You got the wipers on actually, so I don't know what he's doing. Actually, wait, I think it's wet. He's got the wipers on.
I can see
yes, boys.
Water coming.
Come on.
Off his rear.
Yeah, he's got his wipers on. So wishes yeah, bloody hell, it is wet. Sorry. So we can't really see that, but yeah, that is this will not be very nice. So we saw him spin him on the curb, so this was more stuff to make him spin, like you said. That puddle on the outside of the last turn, isn't it?
Yep, that's gonna come into play.
That's gonna be a problem for these drivers.
On this hairpin, watch this puddle if it's formed yet. Right on the inside of this hairpin, massive puddle. You have to go all the way around it. You can't see it on camera there, but when the rain starts to come down, there is a massive puddle on the inside of that hairpin. You need to completely change your driving line.
So this session is only 10 minutes, I think. The qualifying session, so less time to adapt to these wet conditions. So there's going to be a interesting grid order from these guys. Yeah, this is starting to really truck it down now, but Mackenzie's not holding back actually. Oh no, he's holding it, he's spun it. Doing well to keep out the powers actually. A bit of commentator's curse actually, saying he's not holding back and he instantly spins it. So my bad, Mackenzie, sorry for that. But at least that wasn't on his flying lap, and at least he at least he took out the barriers. It's the main thing.
Probably help his tyre temps.
Yeah, exactly. His tyre temps yeah, that is you can see the dry line, you can see the wet line, and that wet line doesn't look very pretty itself. And this corner is not gonna be nice at all with the wet. We're gonna be sliding around. that corner. But let's see what times he's got. What times put the Super 2's doing in the wet?
One around, I think, just off my head, 150s, 150, 52, I want to say.
Right, so these should be around 150s and like one.
Yeah, 149s.
Around that. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Mackenzie on the dry line, trying to get as much grip as possible. But it's gonna be a tough feat for these drivers actually. Coming off a 13-lap race in the dry, and then coming into a 10-minute qualifying session to try and make the best of the wet conditions. It's going to be a tough ask for these guys, but Mirrell is out.
He's out.
Luckily, on that. Yeah, so responding more in the wet than he was in the dry. But so far, Mackenzie's lap hasn't been too bad. He's kept it quite well. This way he spun last lap. Seems to be keeping his car.
Hasn't spun this time.
It's quite wide actually. Yeah, he hasn't spun this time, luckily. Green flag somewhere, so someone's spun it. What's happened? Anyone spun it? No, I think I. But Mackenzie's going to come around the final few corners. What time can he set? Can he do? And oh, actually, Brett's the first person. No. Don't know. Brett says a 2 minute and 8 second lap time. Don't know if that was actually a lap time or not. Let's see what Mackenzie can do. He had a good lap. No mistakes that I saw. Let's see what we can do. A 151.9. So that's a. Yeah, it's not too bad. So about where we said it's a high 51 point. Yeah, so he should be improving on that. Let's see what Bailey can do. Coming over the line now. Ooh, 2 tenths quicker. That's Axel behind him. What can he do?
52.
Oh, 3 tenths off Bailey, so close actually. So, Seb's going to be crossing the line now as well. So he puts him 3 seconds behind Bailey, so he'll be wanting to improve on that. And the rain is really coming down now.
Yeah. Braking on that part, especially into the first corner when it's wet, so easy to lock up. And then it's a sharp turn as well, so it's very tricky in the wet, and it will be if it's raining during the race.
Exactly. So with the changeable conditions, once it gets heavier, like more rain, your braking zones are going to differentiate now. So your last lap braking zones won't be the same as this lap. So it's all about judging the situation and trying to get his best out of the conditions. And Axel's the only person of the top 3 to actually, or top 4, sorry, to actually stay out for another lap. So that's an interesting call by him.
If it's raining during the race, it'll really play a interesting effect on pit strategy, because you'll be coming in perhaps for a new set of wets if it keeps raining, but then you might have to come in again if it stops for some dries, or you play the risk to stay out for a bit longer.
I would like to see some of that. Dry to, I mean, wet to dries will be very good. You don't really have the same information that you do on F1, where you know when it's going to be dry or wet or something like that. You don't really have an engineer to tell you, like Jeff. But let's see what Axel can do. Can he improve at all on his time?
Shut up,
can
Jeff.
he? Can he improve at all? No, he can't. So unlucky for Axel, cannot improve on his time at all. Mirrell's not set a time yet. But let's see what on a corner in his supercar. Oh, sliding all over the place. Keeps the car intact though. Still going to be setting a lap time. Will it be faster than his 2 minute 8 seconds? Oh, so don't know if that was an actual time or an out lap or what, but it doesn't set a lap time. I think Amir will be the next person to set laps sliding around the last corner. A little bit of a drift like Charles Leclerc. What can he do to... Ooh, he's got a little warning sign next to his name as well, but nope. 2 minutes 10, so that's not the greatest time from Miro, but hopefully he can improve on that. Bailey's come across the line to... Yeah, so Bailey's come across to start his lap, and their wing mirrors are going mental now, so this is the indication where it's really chucking it down. See if anyone can improve. Brett's in the pit, so he'll be coming out. I don't think Brett will actually have enough time to set a lap time. So unfortunate for him, I think he'll stay in P5.
151.6 seems to be the prime time for this one.
Yeah, but you never know. A dry line might be forming more. Bailey goes. Seb, sorry, but let's run a ball with Bailey. Actually, he's on his lap right now. He went quite wide at turn 1, so I don't know if that invalidated you. I think he got enough time to get around and do a different lap. He seems to be doing right in this one, but these corners must be not very nice in the wet with these cars either. Not brilliant in the dry, so expecting the wet and only too fun. But let's see what Bailey can do. Coming into the last second now.
Did you get any rain for the Porsche category?
No, not at all. We had a 13 lap race and not a spot of rain. So Super 2 got rain, and so did the Supercars. So no love for the Porsche with the rain category, but Bailey's going to come across. Oh, will he get another time in? Actually, he's going to be close.
Brett, he's at the bottom of the table here.
Incredibly close. Oh, Bailey not getting another lap time and can't improve. It was incredibly close. Who's going to be the next person to cross the line? Seb's going to be the first person. Yeah, Brett at the bottom. Oh, Mirror spinning his car. So Seb, I think his qualifying's over. He said, "Oh, Axel's car's not looking too happy. A bit of a dent in his front." So wonder what happened there with Axel's car. But he's the only person on track, so we're gonna ride on board with him, see what lap he can do. Can he challenge for that pole at all? I haven't really rode on board at all with him this lap, but let's see what he can do. Gonna be the last car to cross over the line in this wet session. Can he challenge any of the people at the top? Seems to be a decent lap. I don't think I saw him. Don't think he did anything. Nope. So Bailey takes P1 pole position in this very wet session. Mackenzie behind him. Won race 1. Can he win race 2? Axel in P3 like he was in race 1. 7 in P4 like he was in race 1. Merrill P5 beating Brett. Brett not really doing too much action in this session, but he's in P6 for that.
That's unusual.
It is a dry session
like that.
But it's a dry session, 24 laps off this track, so there is a pit stop. It's gonna be interesting to see what tyres people have chosen. They want to go for a longer stint and try and be faster at the end, or try and get away as quick as possible and do a little bit of an undercut. But let's see who gets a better start right now. It's gonna be an awkward pause still. I'm gonna eat a biscuit.
Personally, I think I'd start on a hard tyre, try and get as much distance as you can on those, and towards the end, whack a pair of softs on and sprint it to the end. I reckon that would be the best strategy.
Definitely.
Or, it sounds kind of crazy, you could do a 2-stop with all softs, so starting on softs, coming in for softs, and then coming in again, but that would chew up a lot of time, especially in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I would do the hard soft strategy just because, as we saw in the race 1, people are prone to mistakes, and you have another 10 more or 10 how many laps is that? 12 more laps. So they're going to be making more mistakes, and if you just keep on the track with hards and just put in consistent times, yeah, I think you could really benefit from pit stops. These lights will take quite a while.
Consistency is key when it comes to racing. As long as you're setting, even if they're not extremely quick, as long as you're setting consistent laps, you're away.
Exactly. And here we are. Race 2. Mackenzie took race 1, and Bailey's on the top set for this one. On pole position, lights all in and they're out, and Bailey seems to get a terrible start. And Mackenzie's already up into P1. What is that? Bailey's had a shocker of a start from P1, and Mackenzie's already said thank you and I'll take P1 from you. Can he take another race win here in Portugal? Oh, Seb getting very feisty with a Miral, but no contact again from the start, so well done to these drivers, not getting any contact from the start. And these two right now, Mackenzie and Bailey, they're fighting race 1. I think we're on for another fight now. Bailey's flashing his lights in Mackenzie's wing mirrors. Oh, who's that going wide? It's Brett, but Bailey still on the back of Mackenzie, so he still hasn't gone. Oh Christ! This is a really weird corner that they're coming up to now. Everyone takes a weird line, and Bailey nearly loses it, and he's going to lose position to Axel. Actually, still going side by side. This corner, will there be contact? No, none at all.
It's still on.
Inside.
Side by
Still
side.
Hasn't given up position yet. Fair play to Bailey. He didn't give up position at all. Martin to him, he's kept the position, but there's now a 2-second gap to Mackenzie. And as I was saying, that corner's really weird, and people say different lines, and I don't think that was the right line Bailey was trying to aim for. But what's happened to Brett? It's a little red number, isn't it? What's happened there then? I'm really confused what that red number means.
Yeah, I have to look into that.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a Project Cars noob, so I don't really know what much this shit means, but see, Bailey really struggling right now. He locked up into turn 4, I think that was, so not in the most comfortable positions right now. I don't really know. Is there any way to check the tyres?
I don't think so. Oh,
but let's go. So Axel's catching up to Bailey quite quickly. I know it's a 5-10 gap there. Mackenzie was in this position last race. He was 3 seconds up, and he bottled it. Will he bottle it again? Miral is quite far away, spinning. He's having a bit of fun right there. Yeah, he's quite far away from there. These guys are
Bailey has spun it. Miral disconnecting there. Miral is quit the race.
I think Miral's just hung up his helmet for today and really just left. But Mackenzie dominant lead so far, 4 seconds, and Bailey is thrown away this pole position, but there still is another 22 laps to go, so anything can happen. Brett seems to be in a good position, going to try and go on a move on Seb into turn 1, I think. He's going to look on his inside, he's going to go for a move.
He's made it.
And it's a very good move from Seb. That's from Brett, sorry. He's up into P3, a podium position for Brett. Well done to him.
He's coming back a bit. He's came all the way from last, I believe, so you know, he's fair effort to get back up to podium position. Yeah, showing his driving ability here. And
yeah, that was the day. That's actually a brilliant move from Brett, so well done. But yeah, Bailey's going to be the man to watch. I think right now he was the fastest in the wet, and he was fast last race, but he's coming up to his teammate now. So will there be any team orders put in place for these guys? Try and get Bailey back up to those as much points as possible. He came second in race 1 in Abu Dhabi, and I don't know where in race 2. So I think he is in front of Seb in front of the Drivers' Championship, but they're still battling at it. Bailey has the pace on him. He's going to try and go on the up. No, shuts the door on him. It's going to be a good battle between teammates, actually, between Seb and Bailey. But let's see how this unfolds coming to the last few corners right now. It's only a few tenths off Seb, and he seems to have the pace on him. And I don't think Seb would want to battle him too much and try and not let Brett get away. But Bailey has a good exit. Can he get him into turn 1 at all?
Seems to have some really good clean racing today. Good to watch.
Yeah, the only really spins and contact with the barriers is a bit of, I think he's just letting past there. I think a bit of team orders come into place right there, trying to get Bailey's as much points as possible to try and pretty much damage limitation for Bailey right now, and Seb's gonna take P5 at the end, I think, and this is gonna be a warning sign for Brett, because Bailey is the faster driver than Brett, we know that, and see if Brett can hold his own to Bailey. So far Mackenzie is increasing his gap quite dramatically. It's now Axel's 5.3 now, but like I said, another 20 laps, anything can happen, and he can still bustle it like he did in race 1.
Putting the curse on.
But oh, actually, wait, what happened there? Bailey lost out to Seb. I missed that.
Oh, he has. Bailey's dropped from. He was in first, wasn't he?
He got pole and dropped all the way back. Spun, went down to P5, got past Seb, and don't know what happened there. So he's really struggling.
It seemed, I think, you know, Mackenzie and Bailey seem to have swapped here. Mackenzie's worked his way up, and Bailey's worked his way down, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this race unfolds.
The thing I'm looking at right now is the fuel on these drivers. So Bailey has 25 litres. Seb has 65 litres. So some people going for refuels and some people not. And Axel is on 65 litres, so he's not going for a refuel. And Mackenzie, this is probably why Mackenzie's pulling such a big lead, is because he's on less fuel and his car's gonna be lighter and faster. So Axel could be in a shot for a win right here if he keeps the gap to a considerable amount.
I must say,
that's actually that's a good thing. I'm glad I pulled up the little speedometer now because it showed all their fuel. So
yeah, very handy.
Another aspect into pit stops with refueling, but so far Brett is doing quite well, and as I say that, he goes quite wide. So another commentator curse from me. But man, I feel really bad for is Bailey at the moment. Playing pole and not doing too great for himself, but this is just a waiting game for now. It's just wait until the pit stops and the grid will get a bunch of lot. I'm just going to get some water again.
Alex Little there, Pure Axel. He seems to be on a full tank strategy, so I don't think he will be refueling during this race. If so, it'll be a little refuel, but I think the ideal strategy would to go on a full tank, because refueling in Project Cars 2 tends to take quite a while, especially if you have a tyre change as well. So going with a refueling and tyre change strategy I don't know if that would be very effective up against someone that has a full tank already. I know, of course, a less filled tank is going to make your car more agile, lighter, faster, but refueling, I think, takes way too long for that to come to a compromise in this game. So I think a full tank strategy would be much more effective in this race, considering general strategy. I think refueling would take way too long in this game.
Yeah, I don't know how long it actually takes to refuel in this game, but Bailey's got past Seb in that little chat. He's gonna be trying to get on the back of Brett. Well, and he's one of the guys on low fuel, and Seb's on high fuel. I think the only people on high fuel are Seb and Axel, and Axel's keeping the gap to a fair amount. He's losing time, though, so only about a 10th, so he's doing quite well for himself. But I don't know what lap they should be putting on. Do you know at all?
Well, soft tires, effective life is probably sorry, it's a bit dry. Probably, I'd say 15 laps. Like is how long they'll last in to keep your lap times up. A hard tire, I didn't do much work on a hard tire, but I think a hard tire would last a good 18, maybe 20. So I don't know if I think the best strategy would be to go out on a full tank, make the hards last until around lap 20, come in for a pair of softs with no refuel, and get out there as quickly as you can. I think that's just the most effective strategy here.
Yeah, I agree at all as well, because obviously you've got high fuel and you don't need to refuel, so you're going to be on really low fuel and the fastest tires, so you're going to be the fastest one out there at the end of the race. So you're going to be pumping in lap times, and also you can go fast lap and get that. I don't know if they do extra point fast lap in this.
I think so, because
you know at all.
It is kind of glorified the fastest lap of the race, so I think you do. I think you might get an extra point. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But
well, if you do, that's the best strategy. But as we were talking, Brett has moved on into P4. He's been demoted from the podium position. Bailey's making his way back into P3. So well done to him, getting back into that podium position. He's not too. It's not too far.
Oh, speaking of pit strategies,
he's going to be the first person to dive into pits. He's got 16 litres of fuel. That's also thing they need to watch out for. That's also another thing they need to be looking out for is the pit entry. So he's getting.
Okay, it's just refueling.
He's just refueling. So. Is anyone else in the pits? No. Yeah, look at this refuel. This is going to be costly. So maybe Axel's going for a no stop. Maybe.
I see his pit crew's got a pair of hard tires ready. I don't know if that's just.
Yeah, I don't know. He's putting in absolutely tons of fuel though.
I know, that's more than the full tank guys have. That's an excessive amount of fuel. He's going to be ridiculously slow, and he's on a pair of worn soft tires. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know, because I don't. It's hard to. Right, so Bailey probably. Oh, actually, yeah.
I swore
it's gone very windy. A little bit of. Ooh, yes, it's a little bit of rain.
This could get interesting.
Oh, this is going to be absolutely. So, Brett, unfortunately, has come in the worst time, to be honest.
He's wasted a stop.
But that is. Oh, I thought it was going to be dry throughout, and yeah, look, Mackenzie's got his wipers up already, so rain is here, and it's here to stay for quite a while, I feel. And this is gonna be the trickiest part. Is these guys on the higher fuel? It's gonna be understeery and slippery with these dry tyres in the wet. Axel seems to be catching up to Mackenzie actually, so Mackenzie just conserving tyres, maybe getting conserving fuel. But yeah, Mackenzie's not going too fast.
Well, I think that gap of 5 seconds has stayed for a fair few laps now. He seems to be holding it reasonably comfortably. I'm not sure if he's... I think he's on a pair of hard tyres, because he's got 20 laps of fuel left. He'd be getting a... He'd have to be coming in for a refuel and a tyre change, so his position could rapidly drop, actually, thinking about it, because he's going to have to refuel.
Yeah, and this rain is really throwing a spanner into the mixer. It's gonna be a mix of strategy, because obviously they don't know if they're gonna be raining or not. So their strategy is gonna be a hard one to judge.
Oh,
Axel's just straight lined the last corner.
Bailey has got no fuel left. He's got the strategy down pat, because he's effectively, I think, 10 litres. That'll give him about maybe 3 laps. That's probably going to be perfect timing for the rain pit stop to get those wet tyres on. So I think he's got the best future in terms of strategy here. If he up his heads up and changes his strategy to wet tyres, I think as long as he doesn't mess up, he's in for a victory. Very early call, but
Yeah, exactly. He is a one to watch, really, for the strategy. It's 14 laps to go. The rain doesn't seem to be coming down too hard, actually, so I don't think it's too bad. But it could get worse. You don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see who's the first one to react and who's the first one to go into the pits. But Axel's actually closing the gap quite, like, it was high 5s, around 6s, low 5s now, so catching up quite well. Mackenzie's on 16 litres of fuel, so he's still got quite a bit in the tank still for another 4 laps. Enough, so Mackenzie could be getting Brett into the pit, so this is going to be the first person to see
he's got all
really
that
going to the wets.
Those don't. Oh, they're wets. Yeah, okay. I thought they weren't wets for him.
So he's the first person to go onto the wets. It's gonna be a long stop for Brett, just because of the tyre change. Doesn't need to do any fuel, and that's Mackenzie into the pits. Actually, he's gonna go onto the wets as well. And Axel is actually sticking out on the dries, and that is Bailey into the pits as well. So this is going to be the faithful to see. Has Bailey timed his pit stop to perfection? And Mackenzie's still refueling. Bailey will have to refuel even more, I feel. So it'll be closer, but not.
Litres in. 40's got 40. Like, yeah, Bailey's got a perfect amount of fuel for this, I think.
He's going to be the first person to step out of the.
I think they're going to come out at a very similar time.
Oh, Mackenzie's out, and I'm going to watch Bailey now. Who's going to be... How long is he taking? Not really fueling at all. Has he got any damage? Maybe?
Maybe a little bit of suspension, something like that.
But Mackenzie only just comes out the pits now, and Bailey's just come out of his pit crew. And let's have a look at our Axel. Yeah, look at the rain now. It's really shucking it down. Yeah, so this is gonna be the person we want to watch is Axel. Will he come out in front of any of them? I think he will actually. He's on 44 litres of fuel, and he only needs to pit fill for about another 30 litres, 20 litres. So I think he's actually timed his pit stop to perfection, Axel there.
I think they're going to come out neck and neck. Yeah, if he's coming in.
But let's see, he comes in pits. Yeah, a bit close, but
no, whoever's in second's gonna take the lead here.
So that's Seb, and he hasn't pit yet. He needs to on his pit.
Okay.
So Mackenzie is coming into the sector 3 now, the corner where Bailey messed up on earlier. So yeah, just past the sector 2 time zone, coming into the hairpin now. Coming to the last few corners, and this is where we're gonna see. And he's out. So Axel has absolutely done the strategy for. Oh bloody hell! Well done, Axel. He's timed the strategy, and this actually Seb could get it out in front of.
Ooh, nah, he's not gonna make it.
He's gonna get out in front of Bailey by a mile though.
Oh yeah.
If he. Yeah, there you go. Ace jumped Bailey by quite a considerable amount.
I'm just thinking about that amount of fuel. I think that like he's gone, like you know how it says like when you're like fiddling with your setup and you're putting in your amount of liters of fuel, and it gives you like a little thing like, oh, this will last 20 laps or whatever. I think he's gone dead on 24, and that is very risky. In race 2, in fact, that I did in Super 2, I did the same thing. I ran out of fuel on the line right as I crossed the line at the finish. Ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
So I think he's gambling a bit, but looks like it's paying off so far.
So here we are, the same conditions as qualifying, a bit drier than qualifying, not too heavy rain, but it's still damp, and Mackenzie is closing the gap quite a bit. It was 5.5 at the start of the pit stop. It's 5 seconds now, so might have the pace on Axel, but it's halfway through the race. Can he catch up at all to Axel? I will say well done to Axel though. He did an absolute bang of a strategy, to be honest. He timed his pit stop to perfection, and the fuel was the key thing in the end to get out in front of Mackenzie, and Bailey has lost out even more. I feel bad for him. He was about 2 seconds in front of his teammate. Now he's 5 seconds behind him, and Seb is another 20 seconds to lead. So the field has bunched out quite a bit. 12 laps to go. Condition. So exactly. This strategy was all down to the driving. It's really misty now, actually.
Just like that first qualifying session.
Exactly. It's a first qualifying next to the second qualifying of conditions now. So misty and rain. So yeah, look at the rain is really pouring down now.
Oh man! And these guys aren't running any assists, so they'd be an absolute handful to drive in this weather.
That no ABS is not going to be pretty, is it? And that's a massive puddle on the outside of turn 2. That's not going to be very nice to drive through.
And that puddle down at the hairpin here is definitely going to be starting to form up, and that is going to.
Yeah, it's a little ditch, that hairpin, isn't it? So the camber of the track is not going to be nice with these little ditches and little bumps and curves that are going to catch the rain and slip the car off the track. Kenzie's catching up quite a considerable amount. 4.78. Yeah, I think he's keeping the gap.
Can we just quickly switch to Mackenzie and check his fuel? 65.
He's 65.4. Yeah, Axel's got 37.9. So don't know if that'll be enough to.
He's gambling. And he's got to hold this lead as well from Mackenzie, so he's probably pushing reasonably hard. I mean, in the wet, your car's slowed down, it's not working as hard, but I don't know if that amount of fuel is going to get him across the line, if I'm quite honest.
Oh, yeah, he's losing time anyway, so can't even keep the positions of Mackenzie. So all wait and see. Can he do it at all? It's still a big gap. 4.4 seconds is still a massive gap. to Axel, but over 10 laps, it's easily you're easily be able to like cut it down. But let's see if Mackenzie could take the second win in Portugal. It's kind of mad. Like, we went from that puddle on the outside of turn 3 is not very nice. It's forming up quite large
absurd.
But we went from glorious sunshine to misty and rainy conditions. Yeah, it's awful. But every lap, there's gonna be a new braking zone, a new line you have to take to try and avoid some puddles that might be forming. With 10 laps to go, Mackenzie seems to be catching up quite a bit now. But feel bad for Bailey in this race really. He had pole and now he's 27 seconds off the lead. It's not had the greatest of races. Same with Brett, he was in P3 at one point. His strategy didn't really pay out too great. But this do the times in the middle, was that last lap? No, it's got to be last lap. Yeah. So Mackenzie's last lap was 7 tenths quicker than Axel, so that's going to be a warning sign for how fast Mackenzie really is.
I'm just going to write this down. The amount of fuel when Axel crosses the line here. And I'm going to write down the amount of fuel, well, see the amount of fuel after this lap, so the next lap when he crosses the line, and see how many litres they use per lap.
Oh, that is not pretty. That mist is not pretty. Oh, that is horrible to watch. So the problem with this rain and the mist is the track temperature is going to be so cold, and it's going to be really tough to keep tied up to temperature. And that puddle is getting larger and larger. It's going to be coming across the racing line in a minute, so that's going to be a struggle.
To go through that puddle, actually, it's quite risky. You're better off sticking to the inside, and well, not on that hairpin. I'm talking about the turn 3.
Yeah. I see what I mean by that puddle on the hairpin. It's forming near the curb right now, so that's going to be even larger for the remainder of these laps. Yeah. Mackenzie does have a lot of fuel in though.
With these
even though Axel has, like you were saying, enough fuel for the last laps, Mackenzie has, in my opinion, too much fuel.
Yeah, he's got a bit too much. Wait, could you please switch to Axel here? Just want to check. Check his fuel at the end of this lap, because I've just jotted down what his fuel was at the start of his other lap. Just want to calculate how much he's using per lap and see if he actually has enough to finish this race.
But
man, you can't see anything out there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. But Mackenzie is fighting on. He's really sticking it to Axel. How many laps is that?
So he's using about 3.5 litres of fuel every lap.
That's for the 8 times 3 is 24, 26, 24. Yeah, he'll have enough. He'll have more than enough.
Alrighty, cool.
He'll have enough, definitely. But that puddle is absolutely massive right now. It's gonna be. Oh, who's that off the? Oh, bloody hell! That Brett's getting out of the way of cars.
Oh, he's rejoined the track on that puddle.
That puddle's not gonna be too pretty in the next couple of laps. But Bailey actually got past Seb, and we've missed that actually. But Brandy's back up into P3. Only got to be dropping a few points to Mackenzie at this point if Mackenzie didn't get past Axel. But he's catching up quite considerable a mile right now.
I can't believe Mackenzie is catching up to Axel here when he's got not about double the fuel.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable actually. But it shows you the pace of Mackenzie and his skill in the wet. But it's one thing to catch up to a car and one thing to overtake it. That's overall racing. It's gonna be tough in these conditions to overtake Axel. But he's got not many laps to do it. He's got about 7 laps to do it, so he's definitely capable of doing it. But I feel like this straight is gonna catch a lot of water in the downhill bit.
Yeah, have to brake super early.
Really lot of standing water. Let's have a look at this puddle at turn 4. Let's see how pretty this is. That is,
that is shocking.
Yes. It's right across the racing line.
You have to go right to the left.
Try and sacrifice some angle into the turn 5 to survive.
Yeah,
Mackenzie goes quite deep to the corner. Just trying to avoid the puddles on the inside, to be honest.
Someone's gone wide there.
Yeah. I think that's just Brett struggling a bit, but Mackenzie 8 tenths now on Axel, and he's really catching up quite quickly.
That puddle at turn 4, the car's becoming a life raft.
Yeah, it's not nice. But this is I didn't think we were gonna even have a wet race. I think the fall is gonna be fully dry, and it's just come out of nowhere. But
I'm not sure if you are watching the 86, like the Toyotas, earlier this morning. Mackenzie was running the race, and he set the weather to sync to the race rather than real time. So about like midway through the race, it was dry. By the time you completed the lap, it was bucketing down. There were puddles everywhere. It was quite funny to watch, actually. He fixed it for race 2, but it was quite funny to watch.
Yeah. But speaking of Mackenzie's 3 tenths now on Axel, 2 tenths. So he's going to make a move into turn 1. He's had a little look. Cannot make a move. He's too far back. He's thinking wisely there, and he has 6 laps to make this overtake. And this is that puddle is not nice at all. But
all of a sudden now
we've got a brilliant exit out there. Actually,
we've got a battle here between Mackenzie and Axel, and Mackenzie's really starting to catch up here.
Yeah, he's got the pace, but he needs to show his skill and try and overtake in the wet. He's got his headlights on actually, and Axel doesn't, so think about that. But he's got to pick his spot right. He needs to strategically read Axel and try and go for a move at the right time without making contact in these conditions. That's the one thing about these conditions. Trying to guess other people's braking points as well. In the because obviously different lines and different braking zones to qualify in. But let's see. Have a look at Axel's fuel. 21 litres for how many laps? 6 laps. About to be 5 laps. I think it'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be all right. But it's all about this exit now. Oh, of course. All about the exit for Mackenzie. Yeah.
It's going to
get a great exit actually.
Quite a bit of racing skill to make an overtake here, because first of all you're thinking about the other driver's line, you're thinking about your line, and on top of that you got to keep your eye on the puddles, because it's very easy to lose track of where they are if you're in a battle, especially in this first and second sector. So if you're caught off guard, you could really kind of throw away your race here. So Mackenzie's got to be pretty careful if he tries to go for an overtake.
That puddle.
Oh, that
every
is
lap is just
disgusting.
getting bigger and bigger. And just get a good exit out of there actually. But making a move into here, like you said, you need to keep an eye on the driver in front and the puddles in front. So you need to be wise not to make a move into there, otherwise he's going to hit the puddle and spin. All about these exits for Mackenzie now, trying to get a better exit and try and make a move into a hard braking zone. He's going to have a look on the inside. Can't make anything out of that. But it's just trying to send little warning signs to Axel. I feel just trying to let him know there. Still warn him. Just try and force an error or try and force a mistake to make an easy move. Try and make Axel make the movement and not Mackenzie. And Mackenzie's close to make a move there, but still keeping behind him.
Be interesting to get a ride on board with Mackenzie here, because he's sat right behind Axel. Those vapors flying off the rear of or that water flying off the rear of Axel would have to be getting in his way.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough sight for Mackenzie. That rear, but he's gonna have a good exit out there actually. A brilliant exit through there. He's gonna cut through that time. Yeah, he might make a move into turn 1. He will have slipstream on him. It's a 10th. Gonna close down quicker and quicker.
Oh, it's gonna be
Coast inside. It's gonna be an easy move for Mackenzie, I feel. And yeah, he's taking that P1, and it's all about conserving
well played
those tyres and trying to not make any mistakes. Trying not to hit any puddles, but in all fairness, even though Axel's being overtaken, fair play to him. You got the strategy right.
Yeah.
But in the end, Mackenzie was just a faster driver. But I think Axel will be happy with the P2 if it stays like this.
Can't be not proud with this. Like, you know, Mackenzie's obviously a very, very experienced driver, and so is Axel. That's how he was able to hold this lead and get that strategy right. But you know, just look at it as in an optimistic way. Come back at the next race, learn off of what he's doing, and come back even stronger. So you got to be happy with the P2.
Exactly. You need to look at the positives instead of the negatives. You got P2, you got podium. You missed out, but you got the strategy right, and you're the best strategist of all of them, and you've done well in the wet weather to try and fend off Mackenzie for as many laps as possible. But it's all about getting your head down, try and not make any mistakes, and try and maybe even force an error on Mackenzie. Like we saw in the race 1, he made a few mistakes, so the race is not over for Axel. You can still take that P2, just stay on the back of Mackenzie, try and force a mistake right now. Hasn't had a brilliant exit out there, and see, this is what Axel needs to do. Just stay on the back of him and try and still let him know. Yeah. He's gonna try and go on the inside of the last corner. He's gonna go on the inside.
He's gotta be careful on that inside. That puddle on the. Oh, he's gotta be careful.
Oh, he's gonna
and there's contact. There's contact. He's spanning.
Oh, what's that?
Oh my word! All of a sudden, the race leaders have spun each other out.
And is it Axel's taken the race?
I think he's handing the position back. Yeah,
he's handing the position back. In all fairness,
fair racing.
Good race from Axel, yeah, but it's gonna be one for the stewards to look at actually. So that's gonna be a thing to watch. As the Bailey and 7 have a little good battle there, but I think we're gonna still run along with these two as it is for the race lead. That puddle is not very nice now. It's covering the whole track, so.
I'm fairly sure what's happened there with that spin on the main straight. I think Axel has come off it with a bit of oversteer and corrected, and made contact with Mackenzie's rear right of the car, and obviously that's spun him out with him. I don't think that's anything out of aggression or on purpose, and he's handed the position back nonetheless. So. That doesn't seem to be much damage. You know what could have happened is
some spin, smash into a pit wall, and DNF.
Exactly.
They're still in their positions as they were last lap, and he's handing the position back. Like fairness racing, he's admitted that he's the one at fault, and he's giving the position back. Fair play to Axel.
Could have easily driven away.
It was ballsy to go for a move into the last corner, especially in these conditions. Fair play to him for going for it. Like,
goes to show that the race is still on here.
Exactly. Yeah. 7 tenths. He still forced a mistake. It isn't as close as last lap that he was 2 tenths behind him, but you know, it all takes a Mackenzie error and he's back in it. But if Mackenzie just knuckles down and sets some good lap times, he'll run away with this, I think.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that gap there. Seems to be 1 point, you know, between 1.5 and 1 second, so we'll keep an eye on it.
Oh. Christ.
How did you go today in your Porsche category?
It was pretty good. Qualifying P3. I was 300th off P2, so I'm a bit unhappy about that. But the start, I don't know what happened to who got pole. I think he quit. So I got into P2 on the grid. Had a good start. Had a bit of contact into the hairpin, but still in P3, and then overtook someone on the first lap. And then Cameron, who was in the lead, about 2 seconds ahead of me, spun it twice, and then I think he quit. So I had to keep a gap to Tyler for about, I don't know, 10 laps, quite tricky because he's a fast driver. And then obviously I got the penalty, which lost me about 2 seconds, so I had to like try and keep as much of a gap I could. It got to a 5 tenths gap, and then I think Tyler just gave me the win in the end, just because of the penalty. But yeah, he made a little mistake there, Mackenzie.
Yeah, he went a bit wide.
Still not off. So.
This could come down to the last lap. And this is great racing to watch.
I really want Axel to win now. I'm a Mackenzie fan, but I really want Axel to win because his strategy was absolutely brilliant.
It just shows Mackenzie's driving ability. He is an absolute superstar in the rain.
Yeah, let's see if he can hold off Axel. I really hope Axel wins. I just want this strategy to play out for him. But P2 is still an achievement.
Yeah, just Axel hasn't had his headlights on for all this.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. I was like, he hasn't had his bloody wing-free wipers like to the full testing, and he hasn't had his headlights on. He's been an absolute nutcase trying to go down the inside of bloody last corner.
Look at that Nile River in the middle of the track.
Yeah, that is not pretty, but Axel just ignores it and just goes straight through. It was quite brave from him. But actually Seb is made his way to P3 actually. I didn't see that. Seb made his way past Bailey. So 2 laps left of this race. Close race between these two. Actually, I'm going to check penalties and see if any of them have any penalties.
2 second time penalty for Axel.
Yeah, that ruined it for us.
I'm really quite confused about Brett here. I think he's with that massive fuel overload. That's obviously set him back quite a bit, but kind of unfortunate to see him not be performing so well today. You know, we all have our off days, I guess, so you can come bounce back to the next one.
Yeah, didn't have a brilliant qualifying, and then out of nowhere he popped into P3 just in the first few laps. Then obviously had that little unfortunate mishap with his pits. I'm trying to do an undercut, and then rain comes out of nowhere, so unfortunate for him. But I think he'll be happy with P5. It's still points at the end of the day. He's beating a Miral who DNF, so fair enough for him. But Mackenzie's going to come across the line to start the final lap of these 24 laps. He's going to try and make it a double of these 2 races. It's going to be, I think, his 3rd race win out of 4, which is quite impressive for him. I think he's still going to be in the championship lead, but it's still not over. Still can make a mistake. Really cautious that puddle now. And the rain is not pretty at the moment. But he's led a brilliant Grand Prix. Started P2, I think it was. Made a way to P1. Had a bit of struggle with strategy and had the pace on Axel and made it back. So fair play to him. Race 1, he had a 3-second gap and had a little bit of a spin, and then due to a bit of luck and a bit of skill, he brought it back. From I think it was P4, P3, he spun that. But well done to him. He's gonna come into the final few sectors there.
Oh.
And he's gonna.
Axel going a bit
I think it's gonna be. You look like Brett. But oh, what's happened there? Brett and Bailey had a little bit of a. I just saw both of them just stop on the finish line, but still not over. Axel's still close to him.
If he gets a good exit here, it's.
Actually, it's a 2-second time penalty.
Ah, yeah, it's all over.
Well, that.
Well, great effort from Mackenzie this race. He's going to bring it home for.
Yeah.
Is it back-to-back win here?
Yeah, race 1 and 2. He's won both of them.
Back-to-back here at Portugal.
Maximum points for Mackenzie. Well done to him.
Outstanding result.
Master in the rain, master in the dry. Yeah, and then well done to Axel getting the strategy right. Unfortunately with penalties, but well done to him getting his strategy right, and I'll take the positives out of this race. Seb, quiet one for him. We really didn't have a look at him just because of the battle at the front, but he's gonna bring it home in P3. I think he'll be happy with that. I think he qualified P4, so he's a game at the end of the day. Unlucky for Bailey, really. He had a brilliant qualifying point on pole, and it's been a really unlucky weekend for Bailey. Obviously, in race 1 didn't have a great of luck, and he didn't. He brought that luck into here, and it wasn't good luck. But and Brett as well. I think it's gonna be a race to forget for Brett, but gonna come home in P5, still some points, and it's been a good race actually. So
great race to watch
been a good weekend
from the commentary box, and
good weekend as well. So brilliant race, and both the leads coming down to the last lap. It's been brilliant to commentate on.
Yeah, great first time commentating. Thank you very much for helping us with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And hopefully we have some more dry weekends in the future, because this is fun to watch, but an absolute handful to drive in. So,
yeah,
it's great to commentate.
Waiting for people to cross the line out. Bailey's having a bit of fun. He had a little slip. But once this is finished, we're gonna go to bed because it's 5:30 in the morning.
That is strange. Right here, it is.
Yeah.
Check. I think it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Right, something like that. And that is the race
these are your
completed.
classifications. Yeah, Mackenzie taking another win in Portugal. Well done to him. Axel P2. Like I keep saying, excellent strategy. Well done to him. He missed out on fastest lap. He gets fastest lap. Sorry. You get no. Bailey gets fastest lap. Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah.
So he gets P2. Seb P3 gets his podium for the weekend. Bailey unlucky. Gets fastest lap. He does get the 4 points. I think the timer will just run out, so just classifies them as a DNF. And Brett P5. So well done to all these guys. Brilliant race. Don't think I've actually seen a changeable strategy in Project Cars, but it's fun to watch. And Mackenzie takes the championship lead by how many points is that?
Amount.
Yeah, he's
that
3 wins in 4.
Win is really going to boost him ahead in this championship, and he is the one to watch out for, along with Axel here. In terms of strategy, hopefully he can continue that throughout this championship. But thanks for joining me in the commentary box, and
that's all right.
Hope to do that again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty.
Oh, bloody hell, I'm tired as fuck.
Well.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. I'll probably see you next week if you're down to commentate again.
Yeah, I'll commentate again.
All right. Yeah, alright, I'll see you later, man.
See you later. Thank you everybody for joining us for the Supercars for Transnation Esports. And this whole weekend, I think that's most of the events out the way. The next circuit is the Brno circuit. Very technical track, and it should be a very interesting one for all categories. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next races.